Now, when we move more into you and Natasha's situation, can you let us know the ups and the downs? How did you guys start to come? Because it from us, it looked like you guys were, just a great partnership.
Okay, in the beginning it was like that, but then then Tweety done played. Tweeter done played because remember back in the time I went live, I gave a timestamp. I gave the exact time of death, when people came up, when people left, and then when the mother came up there and she decided to ice them to keep them on the machine till the following day. So I broke down every time step of when people came, when people left, who came up the first time. Just like with Jason. Jason came up there with the mama in the first time, but the second time he didn't or whatsoever. But I also had mentioned that somebody else was already in the hospital. Know what I mean? Before then, I just didn't elaborate on who or whatsoever because I told people I said I need that receipt. I just gotta stamp it. I don't want to say nothing just yet until I stamp it or whatsoever. So just hold that thought. We gonna come back to it or whatsoever. So, but also in that same live, I corrected the narrative. I posted a Wawa video that showed 4 people there. And it looked fast, you would think that ain't nobody there. But if you slow it down, then you will see Lulu in the bike, Joe on the driver's side, somebody on the passenger side, and somebody behind the car. You will see a total of
Yeah,
4 people.
you did all that because we
Okay.
saw that video. We ain't see shit, but you
Okay.
did it,
So
and we saw something different. Go ahead.
yeah, because I had my little team of hitters, man. They very raw. Like we sit down, we'll put in, we put in countless amount of hours and time, and we want to make sure we wasn't missing something. Cause sometimes when the speed going too fast, you'll miss something. So you gotta slow down footage and make sure you don't miss nothing at all. So that's what happened. So when I changed the narrative, it was like she was like, people, this when Tweety Dumb is the auntie, loudmouth. So when she came, she was like, people are saying, I need you to correct this narrative. People saying that, oh, my child was involved and this and that. But only reason why I wasn't in the hospital was because I was waiting on him to get off work. I corrected that. That's where you used me at. See, I didn't realize you used me until down the line. So, but I always put a mental note that why she so persistent on me correcting that because I stalled. And you want to sometimes you gotta stall to see how people energy level is and see how much they push you to change something. Or what so I changed it. And I put it with people, I told people, I said, well, that's not accurate because this was she was and this is the reason why she didn't make it. Whole time, you never made it to the hospital. You never came up there when you were talking about 6 carloads, not one time was you in the hospital. You
Why
was
didn't she
never
go
there.
to the hospital?
She never went. Her narrative was
Why?
this her story. Her story was that she was waiting on her child to get off work. Well, this
And
is
she
your
was
nephew.
babysitting.
Yep, this is your nephew, and he's on his deathbed or whatsoever. You telling me that you couldn't get up there with everybody else, but you the voice, you the main person speaking, but wasn't there. You the main person speaking that ain't seen nothing. You the main person that put all the allegations on somebody, and you wasn't even present at all.
Hmm.
Not
You
one
better
time.
preach.
Not one time was you ever present. You never stepped foot into Gainesville into the rally.
Hmm.
That was the first time and last time until now that you ever been to Gainesville when it pertained to your nephew. So when I started digging, I realized that I found out that where that storyline she was saying, it wasn't so much, it wasn't true. It wasn't so much true. You wasn't waiting. You wasn't waiting or whatsoever because the simple fact is you weren't waiting on him to get out of work. So when I realized you lied to me, I'm like, well, you gotta correct this because you pushed this narrative. You made it seem as this was a fight and this was the truth, and then I find out that you're lying. I say the right thing for you to do is to correct the error. Damage control, correct your lies. So you fail to correct this. So I get time, I don't say nothing else about it, but I'm sitting back and I'm like, man, is you gonna correct that? You lie about that. Then I find out about the money situation. I say, well, you saying that $250,000 got transferred. I said, the world believing this because of you. I say that, but that's not true. $250,000 never got transferred. Matter of fact, you know what I mean? It wasn't really nothing in that account that had the sister name attached to it because money came up missing. I say it was already in progress of closing that account. That's why they didn't find out until after the fight. I say, well, but I'm telling them to correct these lies long time ago. Or whatsoever, she never corrected it. Nobody never corrected it. So therefore, my next phase, Demand transparency inside my group. That was a transparency move. Demand transparency, need receipts because now they're accepting donations from the people. They're accepting donations. Anytime you accept donations, you must be transparent. No matter how much people say that you don't owe an explanation or you don't have to show proof. Well, guess what? Y'all condemn Lulu and everybody else with no proof. So how you think you feel? And y'all main argument was that this and they did this and they did that and they ain't show this and how you take this person's word without showing receipts, without telling you how you just gonna take her word, without going to go see for yourself. Well, how you expect the world to take your word and you ain't showed not one receipt?
Mm.
Know what I mean? So when people be like, why we keep going back and forth about receipts? Because receipts is the truth. You can't get justice until you weed out the lies. And the only way you weed out the lies is provide the receipts. Provide the truth. Just like you discredit, and then you got this cabin patch telling people that, oh, by trying to discredit John Doe. How? When it's the person that was on the scene. I posted a timestamp when he called the police. It lasted for 4 minutes. Know what I mean? Because when you pay attention to the timestamp that's on the pizza box, or whatsoever you pay timestamp that when he called the police, that's the exact amount of time it takes for you to leave that place right there for the pickup, because that's when it's done. For you to leave around, come around that corner, come all the way down, all the way down, underneath that breeze. So the timestamp of him calling the police around 5:45. He was on the phone 4 minutes with the police, and that's when they arrived. Because you got to stay on the phone until the ambulance arrived. They came from the ACA way. The ambulance came from ACA. That's the opposite way. That's the opposite
Mm-hmm.
way of where Lulu say she was. It's the opposite way. So
Exactly.
so
Mm-hmm.
it's totally the opposite way of what so when they was saying all this, and then when these people, and then hold on, then when these people figured out that Polo actually was paying attention, and Polo really looking into things. Just like when they say, oh, I seen him inside Papa John, I seen him inside the hotel, we seen the video, we seen all this. You're lying. I brought this to your attention. I said, well, how you seen the video when I talked to the person that's over the hotel, well, that be here, and they say never showed none of y'all the footage.
Mm. 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 Mm.
So then I said, well, Papa John's, I showed people we was at Papa John's, but then I get the
Mm-hmm.
contact of the director, the district manager, and I'm trying to find out, well, did you, anybody show anybody these footage or these camera footages? Because, remember this incident that was going around or whatsoever? That was a lie. You never
Oh
seen the camera
God.
footage inside Papa John's. Or whatsoever.
What?
So I brought it to their attention. I said, well, y'all got the world thinking y'all seen this.
Mm.
Remember, there was her loud mouth ass on that video when she told people she
Ooh.
seen him standing up straight, seen him on camera. He ain't had
Yep.
this, and
That was
then
the
they went
first
on.
video she
Yep.
put out.
Yep, and then they went
You're
on to
right.
saying that, oh, he ain't had no mules on his bike, no, none of this stuff, no sweat. That was the daddy. The daddy made a video on the video saying with no sweat, ain't no bruise, no nothing on his body or
Right.
whatsoever. It was just, his bike, what's it called? Right, now the case is closed. Let me see, can I drop this receipt? No, can I post a picture or something? Because I got the picture of his bike. I have removed the surrounding parts. Know what I mean? So just in case the kids are watching or whatsoever, anybody paying attention, but you physically could see his bike and see the swelling, see the red marks. You could see everything. You
Well,
could
let's
see
not do
physical
it.
swelling.
I believe you, Polo, but I wouldn't. I let's not do it right now. If we could, we'll wait. But I believe you have that picture. Are you gonna drop it on your page?
I'm gonna drop it, most likely probably drop it inside
Okay.
my private chambers or something like that. No, man, I know people that say, man, Polo, just think about the kids. Well, they should be thinking about the kids when they lying. See, when you lie, kids can't get closure. When you lie,
Right.
kids can't get the proper answers. So when they tell Polo chill and don't drop some, well, think about the lies that kids are out here believing or whatsoever when they could have been put an end to this. But the failure to put an end to it is to keep the donations coming in. Because remember, let me remind you, let me show you something. All this didn't really start, and the rebellions ain't really start in this movement until I posted my subscribers. And not only that, and when the people start donating money. When people start donating money, that when the shift began. Because in
Yep.
the
You're
beginning,
right.
wasn't no donations going on. But when Polo started posting on his pay by donation, even with the baby mama, I posted donations. They wasn't getting no money on that GoFundMe account. So, you
They
know what I
show
mean? We
right.
started posting the gas app, and that's when all my supporters started donating because in order for them to say Dro supporters, they were Polo supporters. Just like Gigi got her supporters, we made them Dro supporters. They wasn't just Dro supporters because let's be honest, y'all don't never go live. The homeboys, nobody went live to tell the story. Nobody. You know what I mean?
500 family
If you look at
members deep.
Come on, man. If you look at the auntie, when have you went live to talk about this story? Day in and day out. But this your favorite nephew. When have anybody who screamed justice for Joe on that side actually went live and talked about this situation countless amount of times? It wasn't nothing but the bloggers. It
That's
wasn't about the
right.
bloggers. Y'all came to the internet and asked the internet to give y'all answers, to bring awareness, to spread this case because y'all felt someone right. But what day did y'all have that y'all sat on y'all page outside y'all time and talked about this case?
Hmm.
Not
Come
one
on.
time did y'all. Not one time did y'all. So when Peter homeboys get mad, how you gonna get mad
Walk them
if you
down.
think Polo intimidated about you? Got the wrong idea. I would lay down, knocking your ass off and putting you in the ground.
Woo!
Or what? So
No,
I don't know
Polo,
what they
she sent
thinking.
me to do it.
I
And
don't
then
know.
she backstabbed me.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? And this is the thing. The thing about this whole situation is that when have y'all took the time to actually fight for y'all homeboy? Only thing y'all said was we gonna wait on the police and see what they say. Well, what the police did compared to what y'all
Come
did.
on. Come on. You better say it.
What y'all did? What did y'all do? Is this somebody y'all care about? And telling me I don't know him like y'all know him, then why did I not see y'all stand up for him? Why did I not see y'all protesting, rallying on your live, bringing awareness, know what I mean, for him? Why I don't see this? I should be able to see this, or what the world should see this. Why is the outside putting more energy, more focus on fighting for a cause than the people that claim they was around him daily? But y'all say them people wrong. How are they wrong? Know what I mean? How they wrong when they scream the same thing y'all supposed to be screaming? Y'all barely even post that on y'all page. Them words don't come across y'all screen daily, justice for nobody. Y'all living y'all life. Y'all still here. Y'all don't care. It's not about what you say, it's your actions that follow.
Right.
I, I don't I don't believe it was in full accident, but it's a piece that's missing and information is being withheld to prove it was a crime, if it makes sense.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
like, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm telling people about the receipts, is because the receipts will give the information that's needed. But if you holding the keys to the receipts, then all we can do and all anybody could do is deem it an accident. If you ain't gonna do the right thing and keep it all the way P, then what other ruling can you make? You can't give,
Absolutely.
the police won't change the storyline. The ME won't change the storyline. If you won't go get a new autopsy, a private autopsy report, remember, I tell you something. In order to, if you feel like it's something different, then let's cut the BS and go get a private autopsy report done. If you felt like the medical examiner was wrong and you felt like foul play was fully in effect and no accident could ever had transpired, then why a private autopsy wasn't done? Dude, I'm pretty sure that with the Kendrick Johnson situation, he'd have been dug up a couple times. You know what I mean? You could easily get a autopsy report done, but you don't. You didn't. At no point. But it's certain things that you know that you ain't told the public. It's certain things that you could have cleared up. You got the paperwork. You got the pictures. They seen everything. They could have straightened out a bunch of shit. They could have cleaned a lot of stuff up. But did they? No.
Why not? And I heard Natalie, she said we got a lot of stuff that we can put out there as if she was threatening somebody. Put the shit out there. We want to see
But
it.
the thing about it is, I don't know, but who is you threatening? That ain't nothing but a word. That ain't nothing but a word. Them ain't nothing but words you using. Because who is you threatening? Who is you threatening? Them cameras don't
Gigi.
see up on that bridge and record the whole movement. So who is you threatening? Who can you possibly be threatening if them cameras don't record?
And hey, Gigi,
Like, you saying there's a lot you could put out there, but it's a lot you don't have. You talking about just a lot. You just talking. You just talking.
Go ahead, Tamala.
The only person what I'm saying is the only person who would know that those cameras really don't work is people who hangs out in Gainesville.
Okay, but
Okay,
you have
they
a
know that
question
you
for him.
that you
What
they
was the
know
Let
that
question?
you
me
record.
educate y'all on something, right? The thing about it, what they saying is this. First off, this not even no homicide investigation. Let's keep it all the way P. This is not no homicide investigation. And then, even if you made it a homicide investigation, y'all done tamper with all the evidence. If it was evidence.
Right.
Y'all went up there and touched them pizza boxes. Y'all moved all the chicken wing boxes. Y'all moved everything that could possibly have fingerprints on it. Y'all moved it.
Yeah.
If y'all was so on point, then y'all would have had boots on the ground and never touched none of that stuff and made sure the detective got fingerprints and fingerprint that product. Then you could have seen if anybody else's fingerprints was on that property, on that pizza box or the wings. But y'all was so hip, don't put y'all hands on it. Y'all talk about the police ain't treat something like a crime scene. Well, y'all didn't either. Because you went up there touching everything. So how can you convert somebody to a criminal investigation that all y'all fingerprints on? I'm just like, come on. Some of the key things that could have been treated as evidence, all y'all fingerprints on. Come on, man. They at some point they gotta keep it P. I posted a video so you know multiple hands was on the pizza boxes, multiple hands was on the chicken wings, multiple hands on everything that was on the scene. It was never treated as a crime scene. So anything that could be possibly have been evidence is contaminated. Not permissible inside the courtroom. The best shot you got is going against the city for failing to do a proper investigation. At first, that's what I thought. That's what I was pushing. That's why I said something about the lawyer. See, can you convert it into a criminal investigation? So in order to do that, you have to go after the city. You know what I mean? And rule what they were doing was wrong or falsely, or they falsely conducted, or they wrongfully conducted a proper investigation, or whatever. Turned against the city. But then hell, but if the city invited y'all 3 times to a meeting, if that's true, then hell, you can't even go out there in proper investigation because y'all failed to show up. If that's true. So then you rule out the proper, you rule out the improper investigation. So when people talk about when something went wrong, a lot of people failed in this situation. A lot of people didn't do things they supposed to have did. You know what I mean? And for people to be talking about they don't want to get answers to the world, well, y'all came to the world. The mother side didn't. Y'all did. So yeah, you do owe transparency to the world because y'all asked the world to be in y'all business.
That part.
Y'all asked the bloggers to keep going, keep pushing, keep getting answers, keep helping y'all because y'all couldn't do it. And even then, y'all ain't put no boots on the ground. Months later, y'all still didn't. And then when the transparency part come about, it's all this, it's a whole lot of different shit going on. It don't cost nothing to keep it real. It don't cost nothing to keep it P. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people want me to drop them pictures. They don't want me to drop no picture or nothing. I understand all that. But when you got people that'll rise up and team against you and make you seem like you're a liar, and then you got people that claim they want justice, telling you, what all this about the receipts. The receipts is everything. Y'all stop faking like y'all want justice because if y'all did, y'all demand transparency. Because just like y'all stayed up countless of nights, just like y'all took y'all time to type, what happened to Joe? Well, you can't find out what happened to Joe if you don't know what the truth is.
Right.
Let me just
Know what I mean? And your actions that follow show that you have moved on, went on about your business, and the only thing y'all really care about is blaming Lulu. That's it. That's all you hear or whatsoever. And when you want to be honest with it, I'm not going to sit here and say it was an accident. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a crime because at this point in time, you got to be able to prove that. You got to be able to put a stamp on that. And the only thing you could prove is that she wasn't present by his side when he was on the side of that road until after the fight. But that's not a crime. In a relationship, it's considered wrong. But in the eyes of the law, it's not a crime. First, you must present a crime in order for her to be charged with leaving the scene of an accident. But a crime haven't been proven. It haven't been proven no matter how much we think and we feel. Y'all gotta provide these receipts. Y'all gotta drop these stamps when y'all say certain things. Because when you say certain things about people without proof, then what jury gonna convict them? There's no jury in the state of Florida that gonna convict anybody based on what you think or what you feel. It's about what you can prove. But instead of y'all focus on getting answers, the first thing and only thing y'all been focused on is condemning that person. Y'all condemned her. Y'all condemned the mama by just taking her word. Well, only thing y'all gave the world was just y'all word because y'all ain't showed shit either. Y'all condemn the mama for not showing up or whatsoever, not letting y'all know about something. Y'all went live. Y'all made a big topic just to turn around for y'all to miss 3 meets with the police.
Oh
Outside, we're
no.
not talking about the city
3.
hall. We talking about with the police. And then you got the cabin patch talking about, that was for the mama. No, 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 no. That's for the family. That's for the family.
Yeah, because the mom is not in court. The mom is not supporting this movement.
But guess what? The daddy and everybody else could have did. Showed up. You could have showed up, but you didn't. Know what I mean? And another thing is, since the beginning, since they spoke about all this, keep it real with me. If you get on here and tell me, oh man, my sister name on here and all this, and we seen this, and we watch it go to zero. If you watched it, then you know exactly how much money was in there. You know $250,000 wasn't there, but I ain't stopping you from saying it. But you made it so big because it would grab attention.
Mm.
But if her
Mm.
name was really
Ooh.
on it and she had access, why the world never seen it?
Mm.
Remember, you told the world this. The world that asked this question.
Mm.
No, she had me to tell the world this.
Sure. She used you. Sure.
But
Exactly.
she
She's,
knew it was going on in circle and she did nothing to stop it and say, y'all, that's not true. Just like she
nope.
came out to say about her son and she don't know you, Cece. She came out here to say she don't know your ass. So,
Again. But guess
But
what, Gigi? You got the proof. I'm not finna keep justifying that.
yeah,
but
don't
you
even
but you
talk
she
about it.
Done with
Go
only
that.
she
ahead,
only
Polo.
but you notice that she only come to straighten one thing.
Right. Like, I'm not finna keep justifying
No,
that.
she don't no.
Exactly.
She
Exactly.
only
Everybody know
come
the
to
Let
straighten.
truth.
She
Polo
only
talk, y'all. Go ahead,
she has
Polo.
Yes.
she has only come to straighten one thing. They only made it their
Yes.
business to straighten one thing. Out of
Exactly.
everything in the world that you could have cleaned up, there's only one thing that you had everybody clean up. Even the new cabbage patch.
Exactly.
Even the cabbage patch. You even had the cabbage patch to say that, oh, that person wasn't there. It been confirmed by the police. Well, what police confirmed that? What police confirmed that?
Mm, mm, mm,
No, I mean, it's easy to say the police confirmed something. You know what I mean? Because you went to the police station or whatever. You could tell me the police, you told the people that all the money was returned. You lied about that. So
mm.
how am I gonna believe an activist who went on her platform and say the money was returned? So you telling me $250,000 was returned and y'all still accepting donations? Y'all still get money from
No,
people?
she did say, hold on. She said that
Mm.
that money was returned.
Yeah. She said the money was returned.
Do y'all believe that? Come on now.
She did say that.
She said
The
the money
money
was
was
returned.
returned.
How you dare
Yes.
go on your platform and say the money was returned when it's $250,000 allegedly came up missing?
And all of a sudden it just went back.
Cause you know why? Because to tell these people that, cause there's gullible people out there, for to tell them people that they gonna stop demanding transparency and stop demanding receipts. But if $250,000 went by, well, hell, I would have been put that out. I wouldn't be arguing with Polo. I would be making my lie about Polo. I would be setting Polo up by posting a receipt with $250,000 back in that account.
What you said.
That's what I
True
would be doing.
fact.
I wouldn't be, instead of them posting receipts, guess what they doing? They posting Polo. This ain't justice for Polo. You know what I mean? This is justice for Joe. Y'all should be posting pictures of Joe, more than motivation with Joe. Y'all should be focused on Joe, but y'all focus ain't on Joe because y'all in y'all every live about Polo. Not about money. It's about dragging some on, bro. At some point in time, you gotta be transparent. You gotta keep it real with people. If you pay for something yourself, you don't owe nobody no explanation. You don't owe nobody no answer because you came out the pocket yourself. But when you accept money from the community, you owe them transparency. You gotta let them people know where they shit going for, because some people get their last.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They took it as a blessing. But what if that, but they blessing, their attention was for a blessing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna look out because the situation going on. Not because they knew that they were getting scammed or getting robbed, because these people already know what's going on. They made the world believe like they didn't know what was going on, or they didn't know nothing. They never received nothing. They've been in the blind this whole time, and it's a lie.
Mm.
It's a lie. Y'all ain't been in the blind this whole time. The only people been in the blind is the people around the world that don't know what the hell going on. They think this shit is Polo going at it with them and exposing them. Them the only people that's in the blind. But the people who been really paying attention and y'all listen, you know what I mean? Y'all listen to a voice of a person that ain't never stepped foot and put in no work on the ground.
Mm.
Was never there but one time, and that was for the camera when everybody had the same shirts on.
Mm.
Then y'all turn around, the same shirt that y'all was selling all this money for, y'all turn around and buy all this goddamn shit and spurge on the money and tell the people y'all broke even.
Mm.
Y'all broke even. Y'all ain't make nail dime. Like, come on, man. At some point, y'all gotta keep it real. If people feel like they don't owe the world no explanation, then why you brought the world in it?
That just sounds guilty. If people are accusing you of lying, all of you just gonna shut the door. I ain't telling y'all shit. I don't owe y'all shit. And now you just gonna be quiet and get justice for Chris. That sounds like some $150,000 that magically appeared inside of the bank again. And we were discussing, was it even at $250,000? And I guess you said the reason why they lied is to hype the people up. But why do you need to hype the people up, especially when you got God on your side? That's the only hype you need. Why do you need to do all that? So do you feel like Polo Natasha is happy with what she's doing now? How is Natasha feeling? You have been close to her. You have talked to her. How is she feeling?
Well, I feel like she feel, I ain't gonna lie, I think she kind of shook up between me speaking and what they trying to push.
Yes, you
All
don't
of them,
hear?
all of them look scared.
Really?
They all look scared because you pay attention to her morning for motivation. She shook up. When you pay attention to her, when she on them lives with the cabbage patch, you can see that her face, you know what I mean? It's guilt all over her face. No matter how much she try to put on that little fake smile, like everything, I don't believe it. But you know what I mean? One thing I can say she probably feel good about is the narrative has been pushed back on Lulu. Or they're attempting to try to push it back on Lulu. Or what's up, but it's resistance on just focusing on Lulu because I'm gonna force y'all to tell. I don't believe so. I think and feel highly she did.
Okay, that's I thought so too, but I just wanted
Yes,
to shed
yeah,
some light
because
on
because the thing, what I mean by blow the thing out of proportion is the fact that if you told the truth, then people will be looking at things totally different right now. But
Right.
being the fact that you didn't tell the truth, and I tell people about a lie. Once you put too many lies out there from out their mouth, it confused everybody who involved. It even confused the people who actually fighting for you or speaking on your behalf. Because if you know certain things, then you correct it. You don't be all on people lies. No mean saying you agree with what they saying if you know the truth. If you know something ain't right, you correct that. So you save everybody the time, energy, and thought process of thinking something different.
Right.
But even then, they still have it. Not to this day.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. After going and speaking with people behind the line, they tell the injury wasn't like she painted it to be,
It
and that's
wasn't.
what I
It
said.
wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
right, right, and that's
That's a
why I
stone
wanted to.
cold fight. The
Yeah, that's
injury,
why.
how they proceed, this the injury they painted to the world. That his back of his skull was pushed to his front.
Yep, that's absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and how she framed it, it made it seem like Lulu killed her.
Man,
Killed
what the
her.
fuck?